team. I thought I would do a quick video today instead of trying to do a Zoom call the week before Christmas. I thought this might be easier to communicate and wanted to just come and give you a few ideas about what you can do in December for your TrueAura business. Of course, we can talk to everybody we know. There's an old saying that goes, your mouth is your office, always keep it open. And I'm not sure the exact deadline on getting products for Christmas, so what I kind of wanted to focus on, because that's kind of obvious, you know, Christmas sales, Christmas gifts, at some point it's going to be a little too late to get everything, just with all of the deliveries that go on. These days it's really slowed down the mail system. But one thing is you can kind of look to see what's going on in your community. I know in my community we have a Christmas open house, and then like this week we're doing a sip and cider, which is just Friday night. The businesses open up, and if you are not a member of your local chamber, you could maybe look into that, because that would include you on all the events and stuff that go on in town. But even if you're not a member of your local chamber, you could call them up and ask what activities or what events they have coming up, because a lot of times they're open to anybody. You don't have to be a chamber member to do the activities, but sometimes you'll pay a little bit more if there's a fee. But for example, this Friday night I'm going to set up, I'm going to make caramel apple cider, and because I don't have a location, the chamber is allowing me to set up in their office. But you could always find another business that you could just piggyback and maybe set up a table. You don't need a lot of space. So find out what's going on in your community. Also, you could do an open house at your house where you could do refreshments. You could do your own sip and cider, or you could call it whatever you like, where people can come and they can try TrueAura and they can register for prizes, and it's just a way for them to come by. There are a lot of people that may be interested in trying the product, but they don't necessarily want to do a party, or they don't want to, maybe they're interested, but they don't even want to set an appointment because they don't want to obligate themselves to buy anything. And a lot of people think if they take your time, they feel like they need to buy something. And I don't want anybody buying for me out of obligation. I only want people buying if they actually want the product. But we have to get in front of them to show them the product before they know whether or not they want it. So sometimes a come and go event is a really low pressure way for people to come and try your product. And if you still have other items on your shelf, you could do a clearance sale to kind of get people there. But that would be a good way. And of course, you can always post on Facebook. That is just one way to do our business. It should not be our only way, but you can have, if you don't have a client group, you could work on creating that. If you do have a client group, you can use that, or you can even create an event and do some stuff on the event. You can do games that get people interacted. If you want to give away a prize, it doesn't have to be a TrueAura product. You can go and, you know, buy a gift card or something like that, and you can do a contest, and you could use that. Another thing is the one-on-one appointments. I usually tell people it's going to take about 15 minutes, and unless they have questions, they can stay later. So you can set up a time for your clients to drop by, or for you to go to them, or you could even do an appointment with someone over coffee at a restaurant. You don't have to actually, if they're in the middle of their day and they're going to meet you at lunch, chances are they're not going to want to wash their face in the middle of the day. So you could always meet with them and just put the product on the back of their hand, and you could let them try it that way. A lot of times people will order it without trying it if you just have the opportunity to kind of explain why it's different. But make sure you do before and after pictures. If you don't have any, there's some on my page. You're welcome to use those. All of the people that are in my before and afters have given me permission to use their pictures. That might be another thing you can do, is put a basket together. Make sure if you're doing before and after pictures, the people agree to let you do the pictures, and that you do all 7 pieces. The 4-piece skincare set definitely makes a difference, but it's not as visible of a difference as if they use all 7. And also, when I'm showing people my before and after pictures, I'm saying everybody here used all 7 pieces, just, you know, for the purpose of this before and after. But make sure either you take both pictures yourself so you can get the same lighting, or have the client take both pictures, but coach them. Make sure they're using good lighting. They're either standing in front of a mirror, or they're standing in front of the window so that they have natural light, and that they do the first picture with no makeup on before they try the product, and then the second picture with no makeup on, you know, at least 7 days later. So you can start to work on your before and after. So if you have an extra set of skincare, you can put that together in a basket. You can even post on Facebook and say, hey, I'm looking for whatever, 3-4 people that would be willing to do before and after to try TrueAura for a week and let me do before and after pictures. I'm looking for someone with acne acne, someone over the age of 40. Like, you make up your own categories, and then, you know, only have those 4 slots because it's going to take a month to get around, you know, to loan that set out. So that's something you can do over December. A lot of people, I find, want to try the product, and so that's a good way for them to do that. You can also work on setting up appointments for January. Not very many people are going to actually do like a traditional party this time of year, but now sometimes you will, because if people have family coming in from out of town and they're going to be here for a week or whatever, they want to do the party when their family's here. And it's also like free entertainment for them to book the party. So you can also post that, hey, who do you know that has family coming in who might like to have me come and do a party for them while they've got family in. I know for me personally, my son is getting married a week from Saturday. So I'm trying to work my TrueAura around all the wedding stuff. So if y'all haven't heard from me a lot lately, that's kind of where I've been, but I'm still working, I'm still here. New year, new you. Everybody, well, not everybody, a lot of people make New Year's resolutions. The gyms are packed in January. People are going to do better with their exercise, with their weight, you know, or if they want to take better care of their skin or just whatever. January is a great time, so you could maybe do something with that. Give me some feedback, you know, just comment below when I post this and let me know, hey, here's an idea, or here's what I've tried and, you know, that worked. But, you know, you can always market it that way, like who wants to take care of their skin in January. And also you may have a lot of women like me, like my husband's not allowed to buy my Christmas, birthday, or anniversary gift, honestly, because, I mean, I know what I want. He doesn't know what I want. I just kind of tell him, this is what you're getting me for Christmas. This is what you're getting me for anniversary. And he's totally fine with that because he doesn't have to worry about messing up. So who do you know? Who are your friends that would love TrueAura, and maybe this could be their Christmas gift? And it's okay if it doesn't come in exactly by Christmas. If they're ordering it themselves, it's not like it's going to be a surprise. You can also do Facebook parties. You can do, I think I mentioned that already. Also, follow up on maybe your past clients who have not tried TrueAura yet. Maybe they were still trying to run out of their other products. Just check back in with them and say, hey, you know, are you getting close to being out of anything? Because they can certainly do one product at a time, but you really have to be careful which ones. For example, you wouldn't want to use our cleanser and another tonic, because our cleanser will preserve the microbiome and another tonic will totally obliterate it. So you kind of have to know which pieces are okay to mix and match. Just as a general rule, you don't really want to mix cleanser, toner, moisturizer. You want that to all be TrueAura, but if people aren't using tonic anyway, certainly they can order just a cleanser, or a cleanser and a tonic and their moisturizer, or whatever. Just let them know that they're going to get the best results when they're using it together, because it's formulated to keep the pH balance where it needs to be and to get everything balanced out. So just let them know, because if they are trying to mix it, they're not going to get as good of a result. But there are people that just want to use up what they have first. I totally get that. Also, you could use this time to study up on product. If you have not been keeping up with True Product by Gary, you have to be a consultant to be on that Facebook page. And Gary was doing videos every week, but I know with Christmas and Thanksgiving, there's been a few weeks where he hasn't. But those are all archived on that page. And you can go back and you can take notes. If you're somebody that learns better by taking notes, you can pause it and write it. And most of the time, he posted his notes. So, like, I would hear him say a word, and I don't know how to spell it. I may not remember how to pronounce it, but if you print his notes, then you've got like exactly what that word is, so you can go back if you wanted to do more research. And most of the videos are around 30 minutes, so just make that a goal. You know, watch a couple of videos with the products each week. So that's a really good way. Also, follow up with people that maybe you have talked to about TrueAura, but they haven't bought anything yet, or maybe you did an event, a health fair or something like that, and you didn't follow up, or you haven't followed up in a while. And this is something Betty Stewart has taught me so much over the years, and one of the best things that she ever taught me was, you know, you get a lead, and maybe you follow up and they didn't answer the phone, or you just didn't do a good job of following up, or maybe you called and left 3 messages and they haven't called you back. And at some point it gets awkward. It's like, are they even going to remember? Because the longer you wait, the colder that lead gets. But if you do go back and follow up with them, the first thing you can do is kind of break the ice and take the responsibility for that. You can call them and say, hey, this is Michael Ann. I met you at the health fair back in September. I am so sorry I have not done a better job of following up. Even if you've called them and left a couple of messages, then, you know, at some point they're like, yeah, I should have called her back, but then they're embarrassed because they didn't. So you just take ownership of that and say, I am so sorry I've not done a better job of following up. I should have, you know, been in touch before now, but please forgive me, and I did want to follow back up and see how you're doing on product, and just kind of go right into why you called them, and that a lot of people appreciate that. Another thing I wanted to remind you guys of is that TrueAura does not have monthly minimums per se, but you do have a yearly minimum. So in a 12-month period, you need to have 1,000 in personal volume. Let's talk for a second about what personal volume is. That is anything that you order personally. That is any retail that's ordered off of your personalized website, and that's any TLC orders. So if you even have, for example, one TLC client who does just the minimum $142 order every other month, that's, let's see, that's 300, 600, that's like $900 in a year, right? Am I doing that right? Every 2 months, every 2 months it's 142. So you've got 142 times 6, whatever that is, $700. So one TLC client can add up to that. But let's just say you really haven't done a lot, you only have a couple of hundred in personal volume in, and you signed up in February. Well, you still have the rest of December, you have January, you have February. So just kind of make it a goal. And it may seem like a big goal, but if you will open your mouth and talk to people, I promise you it's really not hard. And if you want to reach out and call me, we can schedule a time to talk. But just remember, you know, if they get the 4-piece system, that's 142. Even if they do TLC and they're getting a discount, you're still getting credit for that volume of $142. So anyway, just ignore the math I was trying to do earlier. I should have written that out ahead of time, but y'all know how to figure that up. And anytime somebody orders a lipstick, or like the bronzers right now, buy 2 get 1 free, you know, that's like $70 personal volume if somebody takes advantage of that order. So just kind of make your goal, you know, and I can certainly help you with that. And also make your goal for 2019. You know, we were just getting started in 2018. We had a lot to learn. I'm still learning the technology and the business side of it. I kind of focused on product and, you know, just what we needed to do to get started and how to do all the basics. So that's my commitment to you is I'm actually going to Dallas for a meeting in February, and we're going to be trained on some of these other things. So just kind of sit down and, you know, how much do you want a month from TrueAura? Do you want $100? Do you want $1,000? And then you figure out how much activity, how much sales do I need. I'm loving the TLC program. I'm loving the reorders. And I always touch base with mine ahead of time to just say, hey, it's coming up. Do you want to make any changes? Do you want to add anything to it? Do you need to change anything? Because now with TLC, they can change the order every single time if they want to. So I've just tried to be available to help my clients with that as well. But anyway, I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. I'm just very thankful for you guys. And just don't forget that the reason that we celebrate Christmas is because of Christ's birth. And if we keep that in perspective, then it just kind of helps with the craziness of everything else. So I appreciate you so much, and just reach out if you have any questions.